What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, another interesting video for you here on the channel. Today is my WWE hot take predictions for WrestleMania 41. Now, here's the thing. There's a reason why there's hot take predictions, and it's not just like regular predictions, because I've had previous videos where I made WrestleMania predictions, and I still kind of stick to those predictions. Now, do I necessarily think they're going to be exact? No. I think things will change, and I think after Saturday night's main event, I'm going to have which actually I'm realizing I'm recording this in advance, so it might actually be kind of closer to Saturday night's main event. No, it won't. I'll schedule this for a good time, whatever it might be. I am realizing that, for example, a lot of the predictions are kind of similar, and there's not really hot takes yet. So let's do a funny video, and let's kind of have a hot take for this. Now, do I think all these predictions are going to happen? No, I do not think these predictions are going to happen. That's why it's more of a hot take. I'll also explain why I think certain ones could happen, why they couldn't, and there's a lot of people that are left out. For example, Shinsuke Nakamura just won the U.S. title. Not even on here yet, and there's reasons why, but I don't really have a spot. Dominic Mysterio, I think he will be on the card, but I switch out other people because I want to talk about certain things. There's a lot of things just like that, so we're going to have these little kind of like, they should be on the card, but they're not on the card type of ordeals. So we'll talk about it because I definitely think that there's going to be some interesting scenarios. So first we're going to go with the championships, but we're actually going to go starting off with like the main event. What's going to be the main event? So let's start off with, what do I think the main event is going to be? It is probably going to be a mix of Roman in some way, shape, or form. I think it's Roman no matter what. Now, who faces Roman, or how is Roman getting faced? So let's go with, everyone thinks it's Roman and Rock. Let's go with a hot take here. Hot take here is The Rock versus Roman versus Cody Rhodes. That's going to be the first one. I think a lot of people have started to talk about maybe the triple threat between them. The Rock coming out, kind of targeting both Roman and Cody. But at the same time, I've been kind of thinking that maybe instead it's actually going to be The Rock versus Cody Rhodes. Because here's the thing. I'm starting to get a feel that maybe Cody Rhodes is actually the one getting targeted by The Rock, not Roman Reigns. He comes out during Bad Blood, doesn't come out during War Games. And then Cody Rhodes had a thing with The Rock, whatever it might be, all the way back there. So I don't know. I don't know what it could be, though. I just think that we're probably looking towards here. But then this is the hot take that I actually want to talk about. If this match would happen, what would happen with Roman? And I'm starting to realize that WWE is setting themselves up for maybe something bad happening. And I think that bad is, what if The Rock is not available for WrestleMania? I think a lot of people, rumors that he's not available, there's rumors that he is available, all this stuff. And I think that The Rock will ultimately be able to be there for WrestleMania, but for now, I think that maybe what it is that if The Rock's not available, I think the path they're going is CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I don't think that's a crazy call to say. I think it's kind of been interesting to say that CM Punk has had this little feud with Roman Reigns here recently. CM Punk has a favor from Paul Heyman, and is to probably go against Roman Reigns and to beat the tribal chief, whatever it might be. I don't know. I feel like that's coming around, but also at the same time with the factors of Seth Rollins, I don't think I can confidently say this is going to happen. I don't think it is crazy to say this is going to for sure happen. Do I think this is maybe a SummerSlam or another WrestleMania in the future? Yes, but I don't think this is the match. I don't think this is the match we get for this WrestleMania. I don't think it's this time. Is it crazy right now? And are they doing numbers to show, we can get some money off of this? Yes. But I don't think these are the match. So then now talking about Cody's championship, we're going to go and look at what's going to happen with CM Punk. And I think this is interesting. I think this next one is A big possibility that I'm starting to think it might not be as much of a hot take. Gunther versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and I think Drew McIntyre will be in here. I do think this is going to be a fatal four-way. And the reason why is because we're already now having this trio love triangle with, Seth Rollins, with CM Punk right here. And I think they want Punk to have a main event night. And I don't think they can have a main event night unless a title's involved. Just being truthful. I don't think a Punk versus Seth Rollins is a main event night 2 or night 1. I don't think that's the case. If it's Gunther versus John Cena, not the case. And if that's the case for them, I think it would be better to have this as a fatal four-way with adding Gunther in there to add into the title. You can start having a CM Punk and Gunther talk. Seth Rollins with Gunther getting back his title. Drew and Gunther have already had beef. I think they make this fatal four-way grow, make this fatal four-way happen. And I just believe that we'd likely see and it likely would happen if they want to make CM Punk, main event WrestleMania, which he's been hinting at tremendously recently. So I'm kind of would be shocked to see it not happen. But what gets him there? And I think this would probably be the biggest one. But I don't have Drew McIntyre here because I want to talk about another potential thing with Drew McIntyre, which I'll explain later. Up next, we have a little bit of a, let me just say, craziness. I think when we're looking at the women's side for SmackDown, I think everyone and their moms has been predicting Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Makes a lot of sense. Would be perfect for young and, the past. But here's the thing. I'm getting a little worried with Charlotte Flair. I don't think Charlotte Flair is going to maybe come till Royal Rumble. And if that is the case, then are we going to is it probably going to take some time? Is it probably going to take a little bit of time to really see what could happen with that? And are we going to see maybe, I don't know how I can say this. Are we going to maybe see something else happen? I don't know. I feel like if Tiffany Stratton's going to cash in, it shouldn't be at WrestleMania. It should be earlier. But right now it's looking like it's Saturday night's main event. And I don't think there's going to be a match happening unless you already know, because Friday Night SmackDown showed it with Nia Jax. I don't think that there's going to be, I don't know. I just think at this point in time that it's probably going to be a way for Tiffany Stratton to have the championship, but Charlotte Flair comes later. But Nia Jax is still pissed at Tiffany Stratton, so then you have those. But then you have to add Bayley into the mix because of this kind of weird thing that's been going on. So maybe it's another fatal four-way. I kind of want to do triple threat instead here, but I added Bayley in here because I have no idea what she could be doing if she's not in here. Because right now it looks like it could just be a tremendous match where Bayley's here. I don't know. Maybe it's actually a triple threat of Nia Jax, Bayley, and Charlotte Flair. Maybe somebody else is involved, and then Tiffany Stratton, that's how she cashes in to get a WrestleMania moment. I don't know what it is. I think that Tiffany Stratton should have this Money in the Bank briefcase for till probably Royal Rumble, up until Royal Rumble, and then I think it should be done. But it hasn't been. It hasn't, and it's kind of been a little worrisome in my opinion. I don't think this, Money in the Bank briefcase kind of, what is it called? Money in the Bank briefcase kind of reign has been amazing for Tiffany Stratton. Up next, we're going to look at the other women's side of things. Here's the thing. When I first made this, by the way, let me say, I made these predictions like a month ago. I'm now just deciding to record this, and I had to switch so much. I think originally I had Gunther and Braun Breaker fully switched. Here's the thing. Here is the thing. I think, and they might do it at, no, they're not going to, I just realized. I think they might do it at Royal Rumble. Maybe they stretch it to WrestleMania. I hope not. I really do. I really hope not. But I think that Rhea Ripley will probably hold the title, and I rather go for Io Sky to be the one to go against her. Now, the thing with this, there's two things. One, could I see a way Io Sky wins at Saturday night's main event, and then they go from Rhea Ripley to Io Sky for a WrestleMania moment with Rhea taking the championship from Io Sky? Yes. Could I see a way for maybe, you know, Rhea Ripley winning this earlier, maybe. But the another interesting thing is that Rhea Ripley and Io Sky on screen right now are having a relationship, like a friendship. And that is like not worrisome, but like kind of puts this theory a little question mark. My thought process was this is like a while ago before Survivor Series. So this is my process before Survivor Series. Team Rhea versus Team Liv will happen. Team Rhea is going to have all of Damage Control on her side. Team Liv is going to have like Pure Fusion Collective, okay? And Raquel. And then they're going to go against each other. Team Liv will win. Damage Control will then flip on Rhea, become heel again, and blame Rhea for like either injuries on their team or losses that they've taken because they've been losing a lot. And Io Sky will start becoming this great heel again. That was the process back then. Now, with her being on Team Rhea, they were kind. They were friends. Io's been looking nice, though. I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm kind of worried about this theory, but I'm going to still put them on here because it's what I originally said. Up next, we have another mid-card. I say another, but it's not another. I'm also like having my predictions right here that I have to like click on so I know which slide's going to what. Mid-card. And Survivor Series also kind of puts a little bit of a question mark on this one. I did not think LA Knight would lose the title so fast. And do I think Shinsuke Nakamura will have this title to WrestleMania? Possibly. My thought process was maybe Shinsuke and AJ Styles go against each other. But with AJ Styles being out for so long, don't really see it. Maybe it's a ladder match for the US title. Don't know. I am still going to predict LA Knight comes back somehow, some way, and wins his title away from Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, who will LA Knight go against? I am going, this is a hot take by far, and I am going Chad Gable. I think there's a reason why Chad Gable signed back with WWE, and I think he was promised a singles title at some sort, some way. And I just see this US title being on Chad Gable. I know everyone thought it was the IC title, but saying this American-made Chad Gable, heel Chad Gable, goes into a US title and goes to SmackDown and really controls the mid-card. He is one of the best mid-card heels right now and one of the best, I wouldn't even say mid-card babyfaces anymore. Like, he is uber babyface. LA Knight, it would be a perfect match and a perfect kind of feud to have. Now, I could see a way where, they go to Royal Rumble, LA Knight's in the Royal Rumble match. Chad Gable's in the Royal Rumble match. LA Knight gets thrown out by Chad Gable to show who's really American-made. I've had this prediction for a while. They kind of cross brands, which, by WrestleMania season, usually there's a lot of cross-branding. I just believe that this will probably not happen because of them being on two separate brands, but God, do I wish this would be a feud in the future. I think even Chad Gable going to SmackDown to win the US title will happen next year. I feel pretty confident with that. It's just, would it be against LA Knight? It should be against LA Knight, but I don't think it's going to be at WrestleMania. Up next, we have Bronson Reed versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. I know Braun Breaker has this IC title, but I am predicting that somehow, some way, Bronson Reed, because they built him up, will win it from Braun Breaker. Now, here's the thing. This by far is a hot take. And the reason why I didn't have Braun Breaker keeping this IC title is because I think he's going to get pushed up to the higher card once Raw comes. He's going to be kind of, in a sense, moved away. I think there's another match that makes a lot more sense for him to have for WrestleMania. And I believe they're kind of been building Bronson Reed to be the one to win this IC title. I believe in him. This kind of prediction does hurt a little bit because he did get very much injured by both ankles during War Games. Sheamus is also injured after Survivor Series. But I think Sheamus's ultimate, oh my gosh, Sheamus, we're so back moment is going to be Sheamus, winning the IC title to be a Grand Slam champ, and I have it at WrestleMania for now. It could happen, later on in life, but I just don't see a way where it's not here soon. So I have this prediction here, but I could see this 100% not happening. Up next, we're going to go to the women's tag team side. And yes, I do still believe Bianca and Jade will have a tag team titles because I think it's kind of a hot take to say they will. Who is the team to go against them? And I feel like there has to be an OP team. But I have a prediction as well that kind of contradicts what I'm about to say. And we're going to say both of them. I'm going to show both of them, and you're going to say which one you like the most, honestly. I think, at this point, I could go with either. I have Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria going against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Here's the thing. I think Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria will probably be a tag team in the future. They've already kind of shown that, they're kind of this duo that they've already had on-screen relationship. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, I feel like if they would have these titles, they could lose it against them, and then it's something similar with how, Bianca and Jade were together for so long, they learned from each other and grew with each other. It could happen with Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. I wouldn't be shocked at that. Do I see this 100% happening? Probably not, because I think they want Becky Lynch to be a single star. And I believe that there's another match that would make it better, and that is Lyra Valkyria as the Intercontinental Championship versus Becky Lynch. I have a prediction that maybe Becky Lynch is a little bit more heelish when she comes around and when she comes to back to Raw. I even want to say that there's a rumor right now going along that Becky Lynch's gimmick will be more heelish when she comes back. And if that is the case, imagine a scenario where, and I've always thought that, Becky Lynch might be the one to win the IC title when the women's side of the bracket open up. Doesn't happen, she wasn't involved in the bracket. Lyra Valkyria looks like to be the one, in my opinion, that will probably win this, depending on how well they really push her. It could also be, Zelina Vega, Dakota Kai. I'm recording way before even the second match happens, which I think is actually going to be Lyra Valkyria's match, if I'm not mistaken. So this could put this whole theory to rest. But who would be a big enough opponent to be like, whoa, this title's going to be crazy? Becky Lynch, somebody that's had a feud with Lyra Valkyria, someone that has, fought each other in NXT. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, both Irish women. I mean, there is just so much kind of ways you could go about this. You could build Lyra Valkyria as this big baby face, Becky Lynch as this big heel. But here's the thing. It is somewhat of a mid-card, so it's kind of hard to say, would they do this? I still believe so. Up next, we have, and it's kind of already spoiling, the Women's U.S. Championship ladder match with Asuka, Chelsea Green, Zoe Stark, Roxanne Perez, Naomi, and Michin. I always have had a ladder match for this, and I think one of these titles will have a ladder match at WrestleMania. That's what my prediction is. I'm choosing the U.S. Championship because I think it'll be Chelsea Green having the championship, and maybe there's something with her and Nick Aldis that they kind of disagree and then say you're actually going to go against 5 other women now. Because I don't think they go Chelsea Green and Michin. My other prediction, and I'm recording this before Saturday night's main event, what if it's like Naomi versus, or I guess we would know if Naomi won or not. What if Naomi wins a championship and, what is it called? Naomi wins the championship and then we get, why am I blanking? Naomi versus Jade Cargill for the championship. And we find out Naomi was the one that backstabbed Chelsea Green. I could see that happening at WrestleMania. Or I said Chelsea Green. Jade Cargill was the one that injured Jade Cargill. I could see that happening at WrestleMania. And if that is the case, it would build up this title even more, in my opinion. But for now, I'm going to have the ladder match because there's just nothing we can kind of predict and go off of. Up next, we have a tag team match. And it's another kind of ladder match. I always love the ladder matches for tag teams. We're going to have the same thing where it's the DIY, Tongans, New Day, MCMG, Lucha Bros, which is a little bit of a bold prediction depending on how the contracts go. So we'll see about that. And then Street Profits. I believe we'll probably get the WWE Tag Team Ladder match. I think it's kind of hard to say if DIY will be a team by then, honestly, kind of forgot to come off. I think New Day will also maybe have the Raw tag titles because I think with this new heel persona, they're going to go and probably get a lot of gold here soon, in my opinion, and look like a strong tag team. We'll have to see, though. I just want to predict something. These are just like kind of just throw out there kind of predictions. Up next, we're going to go to our singles feuds. And now this is where things start getting a little good. Or at least not singles feuds, no championship gold feuds. Let's start off with Randy Orton versus John Cena. If there is no match for Cody Rhodes with Randy Orton, if there is no match for John Cena with a tag or a title, I think the match should be Randy Orton versus John Cena. I don't think it should be anybody else. Now, does this happen? When does this happen? It happens, but when? I don't think it's going to happen at WrestleMania. I think it's going to be like one of his final matches. I think that's where we're going to go to, and it's going to be more of a Randy Orton heel persona. Maybe, and just maybe, this just happens as a retirement match. I don't know. I think Randy Orton would probably want some gold on him, maybe. Like, what if you do this? What if Randy Orton wins the title, and then it's Randy Orton versus John Cena, like SummerSlam, for example, and John Cena beats Randy Orton and gets the title? Could be an interesting way to potentially grow the 17th and be Randy Orton the one to lose against him. Just an opinion. I'm just throwing it out there right now because I think it is a big possibility that we get something like this, like a Randy Orton versus John Cena, in my opinion. Up next, kind of already spoiling it, the Usos versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. I do not know what these kind of two teams are going to do during WrestleMania. There is nothing in my mind that you could have like Roman versus Solo. You could have Jacob versus Solo. I originally had Jay versus Jacob, but they had that for the advantage match, so can't really put them on here. You could have maybe Jimmy versus Solo. Haven't had that. I don't know. There's just so many question marks in my opinion that they have had Jimmy versus Solo, actually. I'm pretty sure. There's just so many matches that I don't know what you could do with this. It's just like a big question mark. It is such a huge question mark with both of these, and I think they both are so talented that there's got to be something that they have that's huge for them. Up next, we're going to go with another kind of interesting match in that I am predicting to happen. I just don't know when. And that is Goldberg versus Braun Breaker. I expect Goldberg versus Braun Breaker to happen sometime during next year. Goldberg is said to have a retirement match. I would guess it's going to be at WrestleMania. That's maybe more of a hotter take. But I don't really know where, unless it's like somewhere where, I don't know. So I'm going to say Goldberg versus Braun Breaker is the match. I think Braun Breaker should be the one to retire Goldberg. He is like the modern day Goldberg in the sense of squashing people, coming out and just being crazy already, spearing people. He looks like Goldberg. It's really just, when does it happen? And I have it here, even though I think Braun Breaker could have matches for the IC title. I think Braun Breaker could have matches for the actual title. There's a lot of things Braun Breaker could do for WrestleMania. But I am going to go with a retirement match against Goldberg. Up next, this is where we get to talk about the Drew. This is where we get to talk about Drew McIntyre. It is a feud. It is a feud for Drew. Even though I want him in the title picture, I have a disgustingly big hot take. And that hot take is that if there is a way to bring someone to WWE in a crazy, and I mean crazy way, to really have him have a WrestleMania match, would this feud happen? And I think it should. I've had it in my Royal Rumble predictions before that Drew McIntyre throws this person out. He gets thrown out by this person. Feud happens. I'm predicting Joe Hendry versus Drew McIntyre for WrestleMania. Do I actually think this will happen? Probably not. But do I want to do a hot take? Sure, why not? Joe Hendry, a fellow Scotsman like Drew McIntyre, a huge babyface, would be able to go against the huge ruthless heel into Drew McIntyre. Do I think they have other plans for Drew? I do think so. Do I think Joe Hendry would immediately get a WrestleMania match if he was in the Royal Rumble? Probably not. I think this doesn't happen. But the thought of it just makes me smile and kills me to not even mention it. So I'm going to mention it as well. It's just the big baby face versus the huge heel. I can't not predict it. Up next, we have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn, don't really know what to do with him as well. I think they're going to keep Sami Zayn a huge babyface for a little bit. If the Kevin Owens is this heel character, could we revisit the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens kind of friendship that they used to have and then really make Kevin Owens kind of betray Sami Zayn again and really show that Kevin Owens is this ruthless heel, not just against Cody Rhodes, it's against others as well. I could see a feud between them. I think I'd be interested in a feud between them. It's already happened in NXT before. Why would you not hash it out again for WrestleMania and kind of relive what you're going, what's happening with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? I'd be interested with it. I'd wonder if they would actually do it, but we'll have to see. Again, I don't have anything for Kevin Owens if Randy and Cody Rhodes are already packed up. Don't really have anything for Sami Zayn. Why not throw them together? Up next, we have Finn and Damian Priest. I think they're going to hold this to be the trio in the finale to happen at WrestleMania. This is why I don't have, Dominic Mysterio in here, is because I think Finn Balor is going to be kind of not held up, but is going to really be kind of involved with a Damian Priest storyline, with Finn Balor maybe having the Demon come out at WrestleMania, where it's Finn versus Damian Priest, and this is the finale of their trio or their trilogy. Is this a little bit more of a stretch? I think so, because I think it's going to happen. Saturday night's main event's going to happen with Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Maybe there's a match at Royal Rumble. And then I don't think they go to Elimination Chamber. I think it would go all the way to WrestleMania. Elimination Chamber is usually the PLE that gets screwed out because there's a lot of different things that they don't really add on to Elimination Chamber, so then they can add it to WrestleMania. I think this is when the matches they would go to WrestleMania for. And last but certainly not least, I think Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six have to be involved in this card somehow, some way. I originally had it where it was going to be Judgment Day versus the Wyatt Six. With Finn Balor kind of in the mix, I take it that he's not going to 100% have a way to be involved in this. Also, Judgment Day looks like they might break up, like a big question mark. I want to say Final Testament versus Uncle Howdy are in the Wyatt Six, but kind of already are doing that. Can't really say that. So right now I have Uncle Howdy versus Braun Strowman, bringing back the past with Braun Strowman with, Bray Wyatt. Does it happen though? And does this only be a singles feud, or is it, a huge group? I couldn't tell you. And that is the thing that is kind of making me worried with this Uncle Howdy group, is that there's a lot of question marks and why they haven't put them on bigger PLEs. So I don't know if I see Uncle Howdy versus Braun Strowman 100% happening, but I think it's a big enough draw to have a, WrestleMania match. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.